Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Shivani. I drive marketing functions at MB, and I welcome you all to our webinar, Keep Your Business Alive and Secure During This Challenging Journey. With most of us, or should I say all of us, working from home, earlier our priorities were getting the right infrastructure, right work from home arrangements. And then, when we started settling in with the new normal, as we say it, we noticed how so many cybersecurity incidents came to light and how even large organizations are falling prey to it. So, with remote working being adopted at an unprecedented scale, making most of us exposed to being easy targets for attackers. Hence, on that note, we at MB, an IT organization that's been transforming more than 2,000 businesses with technology, decided to collaborate with Barracuda, a renowned name in security, networking, and storage products and solutions, to come up with this webinar. Today, we have two speakers with us, Sunil from MB and Vikas from Barracuda, who will be talking about how we can ensure basic application security protection in place and how we can detect vulnerabilities and threats hiding in our email inbox. But before we begin, I would request all the participants who have joined anonymously to please share your name and organization name in the Q&A bar on the right side of your screen. This way we will know that you were here and we can reach out to you with the no-cost tools and assessment offers. For your questions for the speakers, you can use the same Q&A section, and Shashwat from Barracuda, he will be addressing them simultaneously. In case we have more questions, we will be addressing them during the Q&A segment, which will be towards the end of the webinar. So let's get started. And Sunil, over to you. Sunil, you're on mute. Sunil?
Yeah. Screen is not coming up.
That's fine, Sunil. I think we can get started. That's totally okay. We can.
Is it visible now? Hello?
No, Sunil. Screen
Is
is
it
not
visible? Not visible. Just 1 second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks, Ivani. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for taking out time for joining this discussion on the how to keep business alive during this challenging task. I know this that we have so many. We are working from home. Challenges, people hooking down from different corners for the accessing the information, and then we have to ensure that everything's run smoothly without having much of interruptions or the attacks. How do we scale down the attacks? How do we minimize the risk? So that's what we are going to discuss today. The agenda, as Shivani said, that we are having a two important agenda of discussion. It's the web application security and the email security. These are the two most important things which most of the corporate uses into their day-to-day operations. A lot of our productivity tools like CRM, ERP, all these are now in the hybrid infrastructure running in co-locations, running on-premise. We have to ensure that this productive tools, whatever we are using, has a least impact in terms of the security and that are up and running. Similar to that, email is the mostly used medium of communications. We have to ensure. Of late, we have come across a lot of challenges coming in terms of the security. At times, you may open up, and at times people may not open up. The point is that email is every customer whosoever is using email as an application are facing some challenges in terms of the threats and which they are struggling to overcome. So our whole idea is how do we help you to minimize the attack surface and the associated risk so that your functions and the important applications and the email runs smoothly. Now we may have a lot of wish list to say this with the experience with the talking with you folks we have come across. There are major concerns which all of CIO, IT head, CISO, and for that matter, the system admin faces. One such big challenges in terms of the gap is the visibility. Now, visibility and alert and notifications. I have come across instances wherein, let's say, a partner has to do a POC and demonstrate something. So administrative people, they give the access for an applications, or they whitelist the applications. They whitelist these various URLs. They whitelist. They also open certain ports. But if it is not getting triggered as an IT administrator and IT head who is responsible to manage the entire SOA in terms of the security, then it's a flaw. So visibility is a must for any organizations to overcome the security challenges. The second most important aspect is authentications. Authentications will help to know that the genuine persons are coming with the prior properly authenticated mechanism. There are various mechanisms through one can get into IT infrastructure to access that applications and resources which is owned by you, and you are responsible for that particular resource. Third part is authorizations. So in today's world, authorization is access and permissions. So authentication and authorizations are the very, very important in terms of today's security the deployment and the solutions and the pain points that most of us are facing. Reason being, we don't know where my infra is. We don't know from where the people will come and access. So this will help us overcome all these challenges. I believe while talking to most of the customer, we have come across these kind of challenges. We need to define, I think most of us will be having some corporate policy for the IT security because the kind of scale, the kind of security risk as associated is going like anything, which we are not able to mitigate. Even if we are trying to solve the one challenges, the other pop-ups. In that case, it's quite obvious that we need to have the periodic review of the system procedures to ensure that smooth functioning of IT in terms of the security landscape. Enforcement of IT policy. Whatever the things that we define, the enforcement is must. In that case, NAC Solutions plays a very vital role. AD plays very vital role in this. Put together, enforcement will help us define the right kind of do's and don't for our organizations. Data privacy. Most of the regulation, data privacy is very important because an organization takes a lot of time to build their databases, and those databases need to be preserved, protected. It could be your database, it could be the client database. So your business is totally depends on the kind of protections, that mechanism that we all are taking. So data privacy and data protection is key to build your infrastructure and to ensure that your business are up and running. Audit and compliance. Audit and compliance are again one of the key aspects that most of the organizations have to follow certain regulations, certain laws. And there are a lot of laws and regulations which are coming up, which all have to abide by. And most important, we cannot ignore is the human intelligence, the human. We need to train these people. So being an IT savvy, we may be, but we need to equally train the teams so that they are aware which email seems to be genuine, which link is genuine, whether this kind of a things to be reported to IT. If we put all these mechanisms, probably our life is going to be easy. We will not have the nightmare. Shared responsibility with a specialized team. So what we trying to convey here, shared responsibility, that means there is a specialized, the way you have a specialized team to handle a network, security, applications. So it has to be a banded by a particular persons who is core, who is into that particular domain, so that and many of the infrastructure, if you talk about the if you talk about cloud infrastructure or the applications. So what we try to say is that we have a Office 365. It does not mean the security postures is getting managed by Microsoft or that service provider. We need to strengthen, we need to ensure the whatever is underlying in the application. Also, there is a lot of hardening we can do. We cannot just say that SAP has done something or this has done something. We need to also figure out what is the best possible way hardening we can do to deploy that particular application to make it more secure, more functional in nature for the productivity for the company to increase. How do we overcome this security risk and the challenges which all of us are facing? As I said, the full native security functionality of the products to be utilized. So at times we have come across many of the corporates, you have a best of the breed solutions you have procured, but unless it is the functional in a proper way, it is not getting deployed. I'm talking about big corporate, big brands where the products have been sold, it has been given, but it has not been tightly integrated. It has not been functioning the way it should be. So just doing next is not going to. So my only sense here is once we review, periodic review of the product and the solutions deployed and what are the things, because attack vectors are increasing, things are increasing day by day. We don't know what kind of incidents is going to happen, what kind of attacks is going to happen. If periodic review and checks are there, and security assessment will definitely play a key role where we can help in defining this and helping you in knowing the findings, giving you the findings of the assessment. Focus on keeping the basics right. Like a lot of you must have come across ransomware attacks and there are other attacks which has happened that often we ignore some of the basic things. The do's and don'ts is very important, like password management, system lockdown. We have to lock down the system when it is not ideal, and do's and don'ts. If we circulate and give it to our entire teams, it will help in mitigating these challenges. being practical and logical in approach, why I have mentioned this, lot of queries comes, like we talk about web security, email security, all of us, and at times all the questions, we cannot say these questions being asked or put in across to us are wrong. It has to be, we have to think logical in the sense, like we have a firewall is on the perimeter, so it plays an important role at the perimeter level. But when it comes to like server or application, or like email, web application, we need to have the additional protection for this, because functions of all these solutions are different. We cannot overload a particular solutions to cater to all the requirements, because there are sophisticated attacks these days, and the new kind of threats are emerging day by day. Increase in defense in depth specialized solutions. What is that we are trying to again reiterate the same thing? Defense in depth is like the best of the solutions to be deployed for the protections. If you need an encryption, you cannot say that something we have server level encryption, then we don't need to have anything on the system level, because it's at times it is a compliance driven also. Most of the encryptions we are either compliance driven, you want to protect those informations, which is a crucial for you and your client. A lot of companies, big four, a lot of big companies I have seen coming across with a lot of program, doing lot of testimonial trainings for their employees to make them aware, because that is something we cannot ignore. And that's the reason that nowadays, even if people are going for email security, they are going for simulations, simulation technologies, just to see like what kind of behavior a user is having, what is he and then he has to go through certain training, so that some kind of a intelligence is also built, so that he can inform the IT, and IT can take the right action. We have seen and we have come across many corporates losing a lot of revenue. Apart from the brand image, lot of revenue loss, lot of things are getting into toss. We are ready to invest 20, 30, 50 lakhs, even to 1 crores. But security, if we ignore that application, entire application, the productivity tool will go for a toss. That cannot be ignored, and that should be clear to the management, all of us, to make them aware that yes, we know it need a robust security mechanism to defend today's, when we don't know, because it is a borderless technology. People are coming across from anywhere. Something fishy happening, that should get notified to you, so that you take the right approach towards mitigating those challenges. Agility and the flexibility. So we have to look how agile is our solutions, and how flexible, so that it gives ample opportunity for us to have a defined rule set apart from the out of the box solutions. If we can have done some kind of a customization, or we can do some kind of a workflow creation for that, to ensure that our risk is less. Cyber risk insurance, like the way I said, that it's very logical that we also think when we buy insurance for ourselves. Similar to that, cyber risk insurance will give you some kind of a monetary preventions if something goes wrong somewhere. That's something getting very much popular. That is something that you can look at it. Forensic and incidents reporting is another key area. So I'm not saying that all solutions, all things that you need to have it, but at times we have come across this forensic and incidents reportings, and these things are especially in BFI's customers, where they have to comply with many of the compliances, they have to follow so many RBI guidelines, then in that case it helps. So there are a lot of forensic and incidents reporting tools which you can utilize. We do have a forensic incidents reporting tool built in into Barracuda for the email security, which comes by default into that component of email security if you go for the higher version of the licensing part. Integrated defense in depth is very important. When we talk about defense in depth specialized solutions, we cannot ignore the integrated defense in depth. That means security, you have to define the SOP, you have to plan. You cannot think of security in isolation. When you're thinking security, you have to visualize, you have to understand what is your roadmap, what is that you want to achieve. And to set that goal, we need to work towards achieving that particular target. So work from home has given a lot of challenges, and I believe most of us, even we, when we serve our client, we are coming across some of the major challenges. I have highlighted it. Of course, VPN has, or VDI has become prominent, but I have highlighted few other related to the security piece, which is an email security, which is every third or fifth customers we have, and if he do not have a proper email security deployed, we are coming across, we are helping them out at times in the night and day to support the customer to overcome the challenges. Archiving, with the litigation coming in place, archiving is another very crucial important, because now the regulations are becoming much more hardened, and we need to follow those regulations. WAF is another key upcoming things that most of the corporates are demanding, thinking of minimizing the risk of the web, because traditional applications, apart from that, they have a lot of API integration applications which gets integrated with the core applications, and there for the API security also we need to have build WAF solutions to help mitigate these various challenges being faced. Server and cloud security, the workload of the cloud and the service, how do I make it one, visible, reporting, very simple, to make it understand my server on the co-location, my server on premise, my server running on the Azure or any other data center. Can I have a single view to look at the entire and know which server is having a issue, what kind of issue it is, how do I mitigate and overcome challenges. Patch management, another key area. Patch backup software. Backup software is something that we are talking about. Recently, we have seen a lot of customers. In few customer, one or two customer I have recently encountered backup because there was an attack, ransomware attacks, which happens, and we had to work day and night to secure that and make the application up and running. So to avoid those challenges, you should have a proper backup software in place to overcome. Because at times the client that I'm talking about, he was thinking of deploying, but that thought process took 6 months, 7 months, 8 months time, and finally one day that incidents occurred. We don't know what is going to happen in an hour or day after tomorrow. It's better to prevent it right now. Application performance. So that is on the work from home, especially from the application side. We don't know why the application is misbehaving. It is wrong. What has gone wrong with the application, database, server, network? How do we overcome challenges? APM will help you. Authentication or two-factor will help you to authenticate, and authorization, which I talked earlier. Network monitoring and NCCM. NCCM is network configuration and change management. How do I take the backup of previous so these are I referred already, the web application firewall, email security. So there I would like to highlight web applications is one part which we'll be covering, and detail will be given by Saswat and Vikas in the next presentations. And I would like to highlight the email security. One of our customer reported that a lot of attack has false positive. There are a lot of spoofing mail, spam mails are coming. And customers simply said it's an issue with Microsoft Office 365. Now we started investigating. We tried to convince the customer that, Mr. Customers, that it is not an application issue. It is something that you should have prevented happening, because I'm talking about bigger customer, more than 2,500 users in place. So what we have come across, that they have not deployed the basic email hardening. They have not done the there was no SPF record for the domain, no DMARC, no DKIM. These are the very basic functions that every corporate should do. And second thing what we can do is the hardening at the Office 365 or any other mailing platform that you are using. On top of that, you need a robust elastic solutions to mitigate the day-to-day security challenges. For that, you need to have a email security in place. Ransomware I have already highlighted, and we're talking about how MBA can facilitate and help in mitigating these all security challenges, help you in day-to-day operation and operations smooth. And biggest part is that we can help you in security risk assessment. AD, application, and messaging are the three core area where we have developed a lot of applications. We are good at messaging, we are good at AD, and we are good at cloud. When we put all things together, our expertise is going to help you to mitigate and help you understand and us to solve your query concerns. Like, I would like to also highlight that multi-geography presence of us is going to really help more than 3,000 customers. As Swani also said, Pan India we have, which we are serving, and cloud journey. We do a lot of Azure solutioning deployment. In that case, access control, authentication, and authorization. Again, I will reiterate this. This is very important, because we have something running on cloud, something on co-location, something on premise, something on somewhere we don't know, and some SaaS based. How do we integrate and ensure that right people comes authorized with proper authorization, proper authentications to access your corporate network? Unwanted persons and the persons who are not part of your domain should not be allowed at all to enter into your IT infrastructure unless you have permitted that persons to enter and have a access to it. And I also talked about the SOP. We never think of security. You also know that SOP is very important for anything that we plan and you want to execute it. In terms of the industry verticals, there is no industries. Almost we are catering to all the industries. Every industry has a different requirements, different business. They have a different kind of a challenges. We are helping all these customers mitigating day-to-day operational challenges with our security product and solutions. Now, the next slide will be presented by Vikas. He is from Barracuda. He will take you through the journey of WAF and email security with the statistics and very important few of the technical slides. Over to Vikas.
Thank you very much, Sunil. Thank you everyone for joining. Give me a second while I share my slide. Okay. Once again, welcome to the webinar. I like to thank MB Software for giving me this opportunity to get connected with you all. Like you all, I am also practicing social distancing. And trust me, I have never witnessed such a confused state in my life. I am in Delhi and we are always in top 3 cities when it comes to air pollution. But now Delhi air is so pure, but we all have to wear mask. Look at the weather. It's amazing in Delhi. Roads are empty, but I can't really drive back to my hometown. Myself and my wife, we both have become professional chefs, or probably much better cook thanks to YouTube. But still, we cannot call our friends for dinner. Well, this redefines how we live our lives, and at the end, this is for our own benefit. So sooner we'll get used to it, faster we will be out of this mess. And when I'm looking in the professional life, there are a lot of things which is changing. We're calling it new normal. And when we are also asking our customer that have they ever thought about 100% remote working scenarios 3 months back in January, most of them the answer is no. But now everyone is thinking about an alternative strategy to continue business as usual for sudden situations and for quick scaling. And that is where cloud play a very important role. Well, cloud is agile, it's distributed. Because of its elasticity, you can grow or shrink based on your need. If you are an online merchant like Flipkart and you have rolled out a high discounted sales scheme during Diwali, you are expecting high traffic, so you need more compute and resources. However, post sale season, you want to come back to limited compute and resources and pay accordingly. That is possible only when you are in cloud. So this is the beauty of cloud. So keeping that in mind, if I ask you where your application will be in next 2 year, you are likely to fall in one of the following category. You may be on premise with some SaaS based application like Office 365, or you may have a hybrid environment, or you may be completely on cloud. And as the application and data are on move, these are 3 stage of migration that typically happens to any organization when they gradually migrate to the cloud. And most of the organization are still on the left hand side of this particular slide, but now after all of these changes, they are consider themselves as a cloud prospect. And when an organization gradually migrate towards the right hand side, you see the perimeter is becoming less and less well defined until it completely disappear. And when this happens, the role of your firewall dramatically changes, as does your network architecture and the placement and use of certain security tool. Well, the purpose of this discussion is to see how these changes will affect our organization going forward and what security measure we need to consider. Well, this is very evident that perimeter is collapsing. We are restructuring our infrastructure, setting up our servers on cloud, our employees are working from home. So it's definitely a time we should think about security beyond the perimeter, and we should also think about quick scaling. We should probably think about cloud, but we need to keep in mind, when we think about a cloud, with all the cloud service provider, they follow a shared security model, which means cloud provider takes care security of the cloud, and you as a customer define control and security in the cloud. Which means if you are setting up a multi-tier architecture, you need a visibility in the express route. You want to deploy inbound outbound traffic control with IPS IDS functionality. Your employees who are working from home accessing resource in the cloud, and you need unlimited client to site VPN, SSL VPN. That's when you need a dedicated NG firewall or a cloud general firewall. In case you are hosting a public facing application on the cloud like a Flipkart or Make My Trip, you have to ensure you have application security enabled for your assets which is exposed to internet. So with all these changes coming in, There are new concerns that our customers have in mind, and when we as an organization discuss our customer, there are few things that comes to their mind. One is how do they enable remote and cloud. Secondly, when you are disbursing your network, how do they manage the hybrid network? And most importantly, how do they prevent advanced threat? Because it's a happy hour not for us, it's the happy hour for the hacker. So there are a lot of things our client are thinking about securing in the current scenario. And the top four things which we have come across that they're thinking to secure is obviously number one is the remote access. Their users are working from home. They are more vulnerable to the malicious content that can be downloaded from the non-productive website. Email, this is very very critical. I may be working from home, you may be working from home, but there are many employees who are working from home for the first time in their life, and they are facing variety of distraction, and this distraction creates a perfect opportunity for us, for an email scammer to attack that particular user. Data, moving your workforce not by choice out of the corporate office will bring big changes, because how they are saving their data. When they are in office, they usually use the network drive on a file server, they store the data. But now when they're working from home, either they need to be connected via VPN, or they may be using something like Microsoft OneDrive for Business. And Microsoft do recommend that you need to explore third party backup for Office 365. So that's the other concern that our customer have. And again, when it comes to security, I say website is a new face of every organization. I was in conversation with one of my customer who's using our email security, and we just did a follow-up call. This customer is actually into dairy products which they provide online, so you can actually order organic stuff like cow milk, buffalo milk, and it get delivered at your doorstep. And they are not like a mainstream contender when it comes to in Delhi like Mother Dairies, and in Bangalore like Nandani's and all. They were not like a main stream contender, because traditionally we have a habit of going for a morning walk. Me or either my dad will go for a walk, they come back with a packet of milk, bread and other stuff. But those things are definitely going to change now. I mean, I will not let my dad go out in morning and do that stuff. Probably I also want to avoid that kind of a social gathering, and I may need something that I place an order online, because that's the essential thing for me on a daily basis. I'll place that online for 1 year. Somebody will deliver the milk at my doorstep. I'll keep it in a quarantine time for a certain duration, and then I use it. So what is happening with this customer, wherein he had around 150 or 200 customer, now suddenly he's expecting a lot of hike in the traffic, a lot of spike in the traffic, so he's scaling. And other thing that he's concerned is people are asking, do you accept Paytm, do you have Bheem, do you have Google Pay, what kind of a compliance here? So he's also concerned about the security, because now website has become the face of his organization, and he's a mainstream contender. So he do have competitor who may want to scrape the data from his website, may want to deface his website. So website is very critical when it comes to securing and the face of your organization. So on that note, I'd like you to welcome to the brave new world. We will discuss, few challenges of quickly going online. We will cover application security and email security in little detail, and we'll be happy to take any questions that you have today. So when it comes to scaling, MB is the perfect partner. You can definitely talk to them. They can help you scale your application on public cloud, and they can also help you enable protection for your website, protection from OS top 10 vulnerability, SQL injection, DDoS attacks, those kind of a things. So, you need to have that application security in place. So before we actually go and talk about application security, let's give it a pause and talk about what is an application. There are really three different type of application that we talk about in this world. The first one on the left hand side is a web application. This is when you open a browser or Firefox, you type in a URL, hit enter, you go to a website. Example could be irctc.com. Here you see healthcare.com. In middle, you see a mobile application. This is when you install an application from an Android or an app store on your phone. You open it, you conduct business. For example, Citibank banking application. Here is an example of Capital One. Now, at the background, this kind of app is actually taking information from a server, fetching the data, and give it to you on the screen. and that server is also an application. And third one on the right hand side, which a lot of people will come across now, is an API. It's an application that designed for a computer to talk to a computer. For example, you do a airline ticket booking at makemytrip.com. I don't know how soon we will be able to do that, but when we used to do it in past, at the end of the complete transaction, MMT will ask you, would you like us to book a hotel or a car rental for you? And if you hit enter, that's when the MMT computer will start talking to the retailer's computer in the location you're visiting and will fetch the data. And that is when they talk via API, which is an application programming interface. So typically there are only these three type of application. They all run same kind of infrastructure and server, and they all are protected in the same way. Now, how is application is hosted? Well, your application is usually hosted on a server or maybe on multiple server for a better performance. And you have many people accessing your application, like a browser coming to access your application. You have people accessing from mobile phone. You have automated processes. You have bots. There are some good bots and bots. Good bot could be a Google. You definitely want to let Google call your website, index it, and put it up on the Google. And then there are bad bots, which may be example like competitors who are trying to scrape data from your website. And then of course you have malicious actors, the hackers and the attackers who are trying to do bad things to your server. So the way you secure your application is by putting a firewall in front of your web server so that your server is not exposed to internet. And what does web application firewall do? It will look for all traffic coming to your web server, filter it, keep the bad traffic out, such as bad bots and attacker, and let the good traffic through with no issue. So it ends up letting only clean good traffic to your server from legit user. That's the typical role of a web application firewall. And why do we really concern about application security? Why do I actually put a web application firewall in picture? Well, if you see, first of all, everything now is a web application. If you are in business for the last 10, 20 years, you will recall a day when you had desktop based application where you double click on an icon, it will open up, you enter a data, or you'll probably try to access a database. Nowadays, everything is an application. A lot of times that application is on cloud. Think about Salesforce, think about your order processing system, think about when you file taxes. So usually most of the things that we are interacting these days are actually web application. And secondly, these web application are actually gateway to large amount of sensitive data, and hackers are actually hacking these applications with a proper ROI. I mean, they don't want to do random attack, just want to put some skull and bone on your website. They want to hack a specific information website and get that information out of your server. And unfortunately, when we do a discussion with a customer, a lot of time the application security is misunderstood, and probably it's not, it's actually partially covered. And on the other hand, the application compromise, hacking some website is relatively very low cost. So as a sales guy, when I go and talk to my customer and talk about application security, you need to secure your application. You're on Azure, you have public facing website. This is the application where people are coming. A lot of time I get into a discussion that my customer will tell me that because we already have a NG firewall in place, or we have a UTM firewall in UTM in place. But clearly there's a huge difference between a NG firewall and a web application firewall. If you see this typical network architecture, the network firewall don't protect web application, because by definition the incoming traffic on port 80 and port 443 passes straight to the web server. And if they did not, none of your web server can be accessed from the outside world. So in a layman, a firewall job is to look out for a good traffic, and keep the bad traffic out. But historically, the problem is HTTP and HTTPS request. These protocols are known as good traffic to a firewall, and a hacker will piggyback their attacks and infection on top of HTTP. So it ends up that the firewall will pass those harmful requests to your servers right along with the good request, because they are both coming from a from protocol which is a good protocol as per the firewall understanding. So now when you place a web application firewall in between, it will secure your web server by intercepting all traffic, including HTTPS traffic, and inspecting it for attacks. So in this example, you can see WAF actually detected a hidden cross-site scripting attack and blocked the request from getting to the web server while keeping good traffic to your server. And firewall will not secure this kind of a threat. WAF will not even stop here. A lot of times server by default send a lot of information outside. So WAF will intercept that traffic also and will secure against a data loss. So if your server is sending some sensitive information like a credit card information or a social security number, WAF will intercept it. So what is a web application firewall? It's a security device for your website or for your web application. Most of the website are today web application. There are more features which are getting added, and a lot of time these features, those patches actually come on an overnight basis. A lot of application comes on an overnight basis, on a rush hour basis. That means they have more vulnerability. So if you have a website which talks about a login, you take customers personal information, financial information, you follow any specific compliance like PCI kind of a stuff, you definitely need a web application firewall. And I'm not trying to promote this particular vendor. As I mentioned to you initially, that it's a low cost to compromise any web application in this world. On a dark web, there's a vendor called Fragus. You can actually go for an annual subscription and they'll let you hack somebody's website. And they're so organized that they have a toll-free number, and you call that, hey, I cannot hack that website. They'll say, I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Let me get you a supervisor who will help you do that. So that's how we live into this kind of a world. So in this application aware world, both firewall and web application firewall are often necessary. So it's very, very important that in today's world we should actually go ahead and do the assessments of our website. And it's actually the right time, because when you as an IT manager, when you as a CISO trying to make the entire changes in your network, enabling all these stuff so that business continue will happen, one thing you want to avoid is a hack on your website. One thing you want to avoid is somebody's defacing your website. So you should do an assessment, and you should, that assessment will help you to identify that do you have a adequate security in place or not. And there are a lot of tools available in market for vulnerability assessment, like HP Fortify, there's the IBM AppScan, there are ThreatFix, and obviously most of them are paid. But we as a security organization, Barracuda, we are also extending our support to our customer with a free scanner, which is called Barracuda Vulnerability Manager, which we'll talk in our latest slide. It can actually detect variety of application flaws, covering all OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities, cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, and many more. So think about it. It's a perfect time that you should do the assessment of your website, and that'll be an whistleblower that do you really need a dedicated web application firewall for your application server. So this is precisely I have in when it comes to the application security. The next vector I want to cover up is email security. And when I say email security, we actually means email security beyond the gateway. We have been living in a world where we always have an email security gateway solution. There are a lot of vendors in the market who provide these email security solutions. So let's have a quick look on the kind of attacks we have got in the last decade. In early 2000, we had spam malware. Then we have zero-day attack coming in. We have phishing. We have brand impersonation. And in the last 10 year, I would say, we have seen ransomware attack coming in. We have seen spear phishing. We have seen business email compromise. And most recent and most lethal, I would say, is the account takeover. This is a kind of an attack where attack is coming from a compromised account. So it's very, very hard for any solution to identify that this user doesn't write that kind of an email. This user doesn't, ask this kind of information. So it's very, very lethal until you have a two-factor authentication in place. Now, if we give a little bit insight on the landscape of how we had our mail setup, this is how it was in early 2000. You have a mail server, you have internet, good mails will land or your inbox. When in early 2000 the bad mails started coming, we procured a solution called spam firewall, or we called it as an anti-spam solution. The job of that solution is to keep the bad mails out of the network and deliver only good mail. Now, over the year, the requirement increased. We wanted the DLP functionality. We wanted the encryption functionality. We also wanted the archival and backup as part of the overall email security offering. And recently, we have encountered zero-day attacks. So we have built up a technology called sandboxing, where we will not deliver, an attachment which could be a ransomware. If we don't have a signature, will probably explode in our sandboxing environment. And only when we decide, okay, this is a clean thing, we will deliver. So far, if you see, it looks pretty decent. You have a spam firewall which works on, millions of signature and keep the bad stuff out. The spam firewall will look out for a mail with a bad attachment or a malicious link. And if that firewall does not have a signature, it will not deliver. The ATP functionality will come in picture. The ATP functionality will take care of that, unknown attachment. So far, it looks pretty decent, but hackers are always on the glamorous side. If I am doing a webinar right now on security, they are probably doing webinar on how to hack the customer during this challenging time, because that's an happy hour for them. So what is happening these days is social engineering. A social engineering is an email that does not have a bad attachment or a malicious link. It's a plain simple English language that will try to trick a user to do something bad. And this is done after doing a lot of research on a user. So I will go on your LinkedIn profile. I'll see what's your title is, who do you report. I'll probably do your Facebook, thing. I'll probably see what are your interests and all those kind of a thing. And then I will craft those kind of email, which will not have a bad attachment or a malicious link. And spam firewall will act as a blind to those kind of a social engineering email, and that will bypass the gateway. The other thing, as I mentioned to you, which is very, very lethal, is actually the account takeover thing. So if unfortunately we compromise our credentials and the mails will come from the compromised account, it's very, very hard for a spam firewall to identify that email, because that mail actually doesn't even go to spam gateway. It's an internal user communication coming from account which is already compromised. I had a habit of keeping my official password and my Gmail password same. It's not rocket science to get my email ID, but it's tough to get my password. But somebody know my Gmail password, they can actually log into my Exchange account. So those are the problems that customers are coming across. So what we are saying as a email security vendor who is into this industry from 2003, securing the gateway is definitely very, very important. You cannot bypass that, but that's not sufficient for today's sophisticated attack. We're actually talking to a customer about a multi-layer email protection that they should consider. And a multi-layer email protection will always start from your mailing platform. Most of us have Office 365. Their growth rate is 55 to 60% year on year basis. 79% of the organization globally are actually using Office 365. And in APAC, we have 19 million users. So Office 365 is going like anything. And obviously that become, a soft entry for a hacker. So what we are recommending to our customers is that they should have a inbound gateway defense for spam, malware, and advanced zero-day attack. They should use ATP and Sandbox to block the malicious content. They should also have an outbound email for distribution of spam malware from their domain. And if they are following any compliance, they want to keep any copy of incoming and outgoing email, they should probably have an archival solution in place. Now, we need to consider about cloud backup, at least now, because a lot of users are actually keeping data on OneDrive. And as Microsoft, do recommend that you need to have a third-party backup solution. So we need to explore how can we do a backup of my OneDrive and SharePoint. So, those are things we need to consider. And, it's not very normal that Microsoft data centers will go down. But what if Microsoft data center goes down? Can you afford a non-email, or probably can you afford that, non-continuity of your mail for 10 minutes or 15 minutes? I can't do it on month's end, and I guess there are a lot of organizations who can't afford that. But in past, there have been incidents when Microsoft data centers have gone down for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So you need to think about an email continuity kind of a solution. Then the mails which is getting bypassed from your gateway, you need to have the artificial intelligence to detect a social engineering attack to, so that it can take care of those things which is bypassing your gateway, and actually, going through those mail which is coming from a compromised account for both internal and external users. So you need to also have something that takes care of the account takeover, the attacks which is being launched from the compromised account. And I say it is very, very important that we should implement demarked reporting, protect our reputation so that no one should be sending bad mails using my domain. It's very, very easy to create a lookalike domain these days because the domain provider do need money. They do let you allow register a domain, and then you do, bad mails from those. And I feel this is also very important that you should have a training module for your end user, the phishing and a training, a kind of a module where you can help educate your user that this could be a bad email. They should not be clicking on it. And it's probably the right time because a lot of users are working from home for the first time. They are going through a lot of distraction, and that can actually lead to an attack. So we should probably give a awareness training to our user that this is a bad email and that's a good email. They should not be clicking on it. And on top of it, forensic and incident response should be part of it. Think about a situation that your user, first of all, a lot of users don't even report about a bad email. They don't go into that depth. But if some user report that, Mr. IT administrator, I got a bad email, you may start working on it. Your next job is to look out for that email in your 5,000 mailboxes, which is a manual process. It's a tedious process. So you need to have some sort of a mechanism where you can search out that email from all the inboxes and can delete it on a real-time basis. So this is what we recommend our customer as a multi-layer, email protection solution. And rightly, it's the right time when you do assessments of your Office 365. See what kinds of attack are actually getting bypassed from your mailing security solution that you have currently. So whatever mailing solution that you have and securities you have, do an assessment of your Office 365, maybe a health checkup of your Office 365, see what kind of attacks are bypassing, because these attacks are actually sleeper cell. Until and unless somebody act on it, nothing will happen. But can you afford that? Can you actually wait for that scenario where your finance got a mail and someone has to transfer money to some non account which is not supposed to have money, and the money goes out of your organization, so you can't afford it? And those are the kind of attacks a lot of people are getting. So we actually have a tool called Barracuda Email Threat Scanner that can help you scan your entire Office 365 in 24 hours. You get a report like this, which tells you that these are the fraudulent emails you have, those many employees are at risk, and then what kind of domains who are look like your domain and doing fraud on your behalf. So that's what we can help you. So at the end, I want to tell you that these were the two security vector which are very, very important: email and web application firewall, which I wanted to cover today. And moving forward, how Barracuda and MB can help you. If you would like, we can help you detect those problems in your network only in two segments. One is on email, where we can help you run email threat scanner, can help you identify these are the bad emails that you're getting. And we can also help you do an assessment of your website with Barracuda Vulnerability Manager. It's a scanner for the website. And both the tools are absolutely free of cost. That is secondary. Primarily, there's no production impact. So when you run an email thread scanner, there's no latency on your email. The scan runs at the backend. We actually integrate with Office 365 via API. And that's how we learn about your domain. And also in Barracuda Vulnerability Manager, there's no latency on your website. So once you're done with these scans, you have detected the problem. If you would like to go for some prevention, we do have promotional offer that we are offering to a customer. We have firewalls that can help you overcome your SSL VPN and VPN requirement for a moment. We have web application firewall. So we have trial periods available where we can actually deploy our WAF in full production and can start blocking those kind of attack. Barracuda Essential is an security module for email security on top of your Office 365. We complement any of Office 365 plan you have, E3, E1, E5. We are comparable with that. And then we also have web security as a service. So if you want to deploy some security policy on your user's laptop, which are actually their own machines, and you want to install something so that they don't go on non-productive website, don't download our stuff, we can help you. And also in recovery, Barracuda and MB can help you deploy a complete cloud to cloud backup solution for your Office 365. We do have that module. Or if you would like only have an archival for your mails, you want to go for an archival solution, we do have that option available, and in all the flavor. So all of these solutions that we discuss are actually available as cloud based and virtual, and they're also available as an appliance based on your requirement. So on that note, once again, I want to thank you for your time and most importantly, your patience, because I'm sure you would have gone through a lot of webinar during these days. I am also doing a lot of them, so you are definitely part of it. We want to open the floor for Q&A. You can type in your questions in chat window. I have Shashwat Unyal with me. He's our pre-sales consultant. He can help you answer those questions. Over to you, Shivani.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vikas. On that note, just in the interest of time, if there are any questions, feel free to reach us out on connect@mb.co.in, and we will be very happy to address you. And we can always schedule a one-on-one with Vikas and Sunil for you. And on that note, thank you so much, Sunil, and thank you, Vikas and Shashwat, for all the insights that you have shared with our audience. I'm sure the solutions we talked about are very, very contextual and useful in today's time. And thanks to our wonderful audience. In case, as I said, in case you have any questions, queries, please feel free to reach us out at connect@mb.co.in. And until next, stay healthy, stay safe, have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.